What up? What up? What up, man?
What up, though?
Is this the relaunch?
I think it's the relaunch.
This is the relaunch. It's the relaunch. So PR project, we back. It's been a minute, bro.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Y'all might notice this a different kind of format.
A little setup
Doing
different?
things. We missing somebody, but
Okay, well, yeah, that's not on purpose.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is the
So we excommunicated. No,
excommunicado. What did he do? So Gary, just full disclosure, this is the relaunch PR project. We obviously looks a little different. Last time you saw a PR project, we were on stage at TRE in San Antonio. But then we wanted to make sure that if we came back to like the world of podcasting and the world of like doing this often, we do it right. Yeah. Because I feel like PR project is different in a way, but then it's also like deserves to be at like whatever the highest platforms that like the space has to offer. So it's like, why don't we do something different this time? Gary, unfortunately, if you're not hip, the United States is in a freeze right now, and so is one of Gary's like shower pipes or something like that. So Gary had to miss this recording. He will be back on the next one for sure. So I'll have some dad jokes.
Yeah,
for
Gary. Yeah. I'm sure he'll have some too.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like right now writing down dad jokes to try to text us and try to throw us off.
Lock him in.
So how you been feeling, bro?
I've been feeling good. Back to training, back to a regimen, back to a routine. Just the running don't stop, man. So
yeah, no.
We had our opportunity to do our thing in San Antonio with TRE.
Yeah.
Which was super dope. But then it's just like, all right, back to the real world, back to things. I feel like TRE is kind of like our cap of the year almost. You know what I'm saying? It's
no,
like,
for sure.
It's just like, all right, this is gonna book in the end of the year, and then we've been planning this new idea, which is this whole thing.
You see the logo.
You know what I'm saying? So
hey, that's fire. That's fire.
We've been practicing. We've been working on that.
Yeah.
And the PR project is all about growth, right? It's
Yeah.
about becoming a better version of yourself, and I feel like this is just like an extension of that. You know what I'm saying? Taking it to another level, better quality. Video component.
I feel like
all of that good stuff.
I feel like that's a good point though, because like just as a reminder, so like for people that may be somewhat new or just flat out new to PR project, because it's been a little bit since we used to do the live shows every Sunday, like talking heads in our living rooms or basements or whatever. But one thing that is definitely worth pointing out is that PR project started off as it was just me and Aaron, and then I think like a year into we added Gary, but the whole point of it was to talk about all things running, but then mainly about like that training aspect and like wanting to go a little further, because every time at that point in our journeys, almost everything we were doing was for like that PR, whether it was like a 5K to half marathon to marathon. It was always about like, what can we do to train harder, train smarter, and be better. So like we wanted to have those conversations, and then it just worked out perfect because like me and you was like, yep, let's do it. And then we hopped on board, and then a bunch of shoes started coming our way, and we started adding in that shoe like review kind of like concept. There's so many good shoe reviewers that we didn't dive into like not the nitty gritty of like all like the foams and this and that unless that was like part of like the feeling of it for us, the experience. So I wanted like, we've come a long way in that, and we started off just the two of us, and now then it's Gary, but then we started doing like live events, like for Eugene Marathon, we did a live show 2 years in a row with them, and then the year before that, I guess we were with them for 3 years. The first year was just us like going out as a PR project, trying to get some PRs, and then we've also done 3 years in a row of TRE, which is the running event, first in Austin the first 2 years, and then San Antonio last year. So it's like, I love the fact that even as like our content or like the conversations kind of changed a little bit, we leaned back a little bit off of like all training stuff, and then we leaned a little way away from like reviewing shoes, so to speak. But we always kept like trying to innovate and trying to PR or trying to like raise the bar a bit while like giving good information or based on our own experiences, and never like trying to like teach, but more so just like sharing what our experiences are. So this is like the evolution of it, and hopefully we maybe even can, as we build this next season out, we kind of go back a little bit into like some of the things that we used to really like lock in on.
Yeah, and all of those things that you said are super important, and all of those things that you said are things that we did, but what's so important to me is the fact that we've built this community.
Yeah.
We would have our regulars on our live streams all the time, and we're not live streaming it at the moment. We're not live streaming it well, I ain't gonna say anymore, but we're not live
Yeah.
streaming it at the moment. But we're hoping to still have that community because we would go to races, we would go to these running events, and people would say, I pop the podcast into my headphones when I'm on a run, and y'all make me laugh, y'all teach me stuff, y'all keep me rolling, and really that's what we want to do is just be that friend, you know what I'm saying, on the run with you if you're running by yourself or if you're on a treadmill, especially now during the winter, like just trying to level up and give you the best experience because I know if you don't catch the live and you listen to the podcast later on, it might not give you that same experience. So hopefully this way is a better way to convey what we're trying to do and keep our community tight and still be able to provide that entertainment to people and give them a chance to experience in a elevated way.
For sure. I mean, because it's like, that's really what the thought. I mean, in the beginning, it was literally just like random conversation. Yeah. We wouldn't talk about nothing. I mean, we were, but it was like everything that we talked about on runs. That's really like when I listen to podcasts or just content in general. When it's like that kind of like talking head vibe, it's cool when it's like informative and educational and stuff like that, but then sometimes it's really just fun to just hear 2 friends, 3 friends, or whoever just have a conversation, like, and you see like a lot of the stuff that the podcasts that are really have kind of set the bar for podcasting in general is whether it's wild and screaming and arguing and stuff, but it's still like that authentic like conversation that people be having. So that's where we're going with this pod. I mean, I really wish Gary was here because this is cool, like just to be like sitting down and being in the same spot, because that's one thing we're not used to either. Yeah. So that's actually dope though, is that the last time we were together recording, we were on stage together, and I feel like to me that's where we belong, is like that, first off together, but then also on stage and being the voices that just a slightly different voice than what's out there. Right,
being
right
the
now.
voice that we want to see in a space,
for
rather
sure.
than always having to kind of acquiesce to what's like already out there. Like it's much more perspectives, it's much more point of views, it's much more voices that don't necessarily always get heard. So let's keep pushing it forward. Let's keep making it work.
Yeah, man. So, well, first off, or second off, or third off, I don't even know how many offs we've done, but like I'm happy to see you. I'm happy you're alive right now. Yeah. So you were like, you don't get sick that often.
Nah.
And then like all of a sudden, I think you went out to Houston and spectated and ran. And I was actually kind of mad. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, bro. Like, you posting up videos of you in like warm weather. We over here suffering. I'm like, dog, that's crazy. I'm really jealous. And then like a day later, you like, yo, I feel like I got hit by 3 buses.
Yeah.
And so you was just fried. And I'm not saying I was happy that you were sick, but I kind of was like, I mean, maybe
that's kind of crazy.
Maybe I'm not saying you deserve it. But I feel like
I feel like you are.
No. I'm not saying you deserve it.
I feel like that's exactly what you're saying.
Like I'm not, maybe, it's like 1 + 1. Not saying that everything deserved to be 2.
So you blaming math is what you're saying.
Math is to blame for most things.
Math is, but anyway. Yeah. So I went down to Houston to support some friends that was running the Houston Marathon, and I was literally there for 23 and a half hours. Yeah. But I flew on an airline that's not to be named. And
no, we throwing the big yellow school bus under the bus. Spirit Airlines, we're talking to you. If Spirit Airlines is watching, say if the CEO of Spirit Airlines happens to be like a runner and he like, yo, I need to check out a new podcast. What's this PR project? And he hears this moment. Let's just have a conversation as if he's also here.
So this is the thing. My grievance with Spirit Airlines is it's wild. It's not
realistic?
Yes.
Okay.
Kids shouldn't be on the plane, bro.
Kids?
Yeah.
So I mean, but this is like every airline.
Right.
Okay. So now we're going to kids. What age are we talking about?
If you haven't hit puberty yet,
Jesus.
You gotta get in the car, bro.
Wait, hold on. So like we talking about like 12 and under, no.
Absolutely not.
And then like 17 and high, like anywhere.
If you in high school and you got a decent GPA, then yeah. But
what?
if you in high school and you struggling, you probably just need to stay in your region, or you need to take road trips. This is the thing. I don't got no kids, bro.
Okay,
I don't be around children a lot. There is
your
something.
Your immune system probably trash.
That's not it. It's the fact that kids' germs are different, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, your immune system.
Don't blame my immune system. Blame these super
saying.
germs that these kids carrying.
I'm saying.
And they don't cover their mouth when they cough.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't wash their hands. They don't want to take showers. Kids are historically
You're making a
anti-hygiene.
good point. You're making a good point.
So when we are all enclosed in this tube in the air, 20,000 feet in the air, that questionably is filtering the air, because I don't know, you know?
Yeah. That's another thing.
I just feel like when I walk down that aisle.
What are we naming the CEO of Spirit right now? George.
Sure.
So George, George, do you? We need to know. Like, do you have a better filter system? Like, because it can't be. I mean, kids can't stop flying. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but why do a kid need to be on a plane?
Because they going somewhere.
Why do they need to be going anywhere other than school and home?
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I don't necessarily. I'd rather, like, I mean, there's a bunch of trips. I mean, I'd rather not have my kid with me, necessarily. But like, if they're there, it's cool. But
I'll make exceptions.
I also
I'll make
feel
exceptions.
like no. I feel what you're saying. I feel like there should be. I think we got to take it off of the kids' shoulders here, and I think we need to put it on the parents, right? And as a parent, I feel like, okay, look, if at home you can cough without covering your mouth, you can cough mouth open with no cover if you want to at the crib, right? But in public, in general, but especially on a closed plane with filter systems in the air, I feel like you need to cover your mouth a little bit more, just for today.
You gotta go. You gotta go above and
just
beyond.
for like these couple hours.
Even if scientifically it don't make no difference, for my peace of mind. Like,
Yeah, just
I
to-
don't want to walk down the aisle, see you on your iPad,
and just cough.
and you cough into the aisle, and then wipe your nose, and then wipe your hand on the. I know, like you get.
You saw that happen on the plane.
Yes.
Well, I thought so. Now we're talking.
You getting the whole plane.
Now we're talking about mind over matter, because I guarantee if you didn't see that, you wouldn't have been sick.
But I saw it.
Now
I saw it,
it's over.
and I got the super flu. And
Is that what it's called?
well, as I was doing my research, I realized that this specific flu season
Yeah.
is a influenza A flu season,
Uh-huh.
which is known to be the more aggressive and more severe flu season, as opposed to the influenza B season.
Okay.
So I'm out here with influenza A. Bro, I don't take medicine like that.
You was hopped up.
Brother, I was on that Theraflu so hard. Like 12-hour increments. I could feel the Theraflu like wearing off, and I had to go back to. I said, I see how people get addicted to drugs.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Because
yeah, 'cause there's a time frame.
I need
Time frame for sure.
this. I need this relief
Yeah.
because I was dying,
I mean,
and this was 3 days.
I feel you. I feel
It
you.
was terrible.
I feel
And
you.
so 3 days.
Yeah.
I really started to. So this is what happened on Tuesday. I ran Tuesday afternoon. Well, Tuesday evening, right?
Yeah.
And I ran outside because it wasn't terrible outside. It was decent. And I do my normal hilly route by the house, and I'm like, I feel like I'm moving decent. Like, this ain't bad. And then I look down at my watch, and I realized I was running like 8:45 pace, which is it's very conservative for like an easy run for me at this point, right? Especially like not. I did a workout on Sunday, but I had that Monday, and then it was Tuesday, so it was like, all right, 8:45. That's a little weird, but I feel good. My heart rate was low. It was straight.
Yeah.
But I knew something wasn't right.
Yeah. You knew you was
I knew
slipping
something wasn't
into
right.
the darkness.
Wednesday, cooked. Fever started to come on, body aches, fatigue. I'm like, guess I'm not doing my workout today.
Yeah.
Thursday, same thing. Friday, a little better, but still terrible.
Yeah.
Saturday, I saw the light. So I'm like, I can go to the gym and put a few miles on this treadmill. I'll be straight. I ran for 4 minutes, bro. Chest burning. Like, I've never
you was
ran
on some,
before.
Yeah, you was on something different.
It was so then I took Sunday off, and then I got back to it on Monday, and finally
Yeah.
I was able to sustain some. I ran 8 miles. It was decent, and I finally feel like I'm starting to get back to myself now. But boy,
Do you think that people? I mean, because I don't know who had B or A and all this other stuff, but like I know for sure, like there's been times where like I've been sick. Luckily, it's not like when it's like 5 degrees outside. So like sometimes like, but I'll try to like go out and run, and then just kind of feel my way through it. But I think at this point, we've all the few of us at least have like been like nerdy enough about running to like decide to know like you don't have to push everything, like you don't have to go. But do you think that people be pushing themselves to a point? Because I know people with COVID tried to come back too fast from COVID. Is that like the same type of, you think people be pushing themselves past like flu stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, we know like runners are super type A. We want to get back to it. We don't want disruptions in our training.
Yeah.
Especially when you know that time is ticking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
if you got
it's
a race
hard
coming up,
yeah, exactly.
like 3 months out, you're like, I need to be fit. Yeah.
You want to hit them benchmarks. You want to be like, all right, I hit this many miles this week. I hit this many. So yeah, I absolutely know that people are probably pushing it to get back a little too soon.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous because as I was going through it, as I was in the dregs of it, I'm just looking up like, all right, what should I look for to return to exercise? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's always err on the side of caution, right? Because if you run in with a fever, you are putting undue stress on your heart, which could result in myocarditis, which we've seen many athletes have myocarditis, which is an issue with your heart. It's like bruising of your heart. And that's dangerous stuff because that could really like knock you down. So them 2 or 3 extra days that you might take, they are well worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't rush it back. You're not losing fitness like that.
Yeah.
You, especially when you have a respiratory issue, like you gotta let it do its thing. You gotta let it run its course. No pun intended. Because the downside ain't worth the, you know what I'm saying? The little bit of benefit of 2 or 3 more days of running is not worth the risk of like setting yourself back weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You think, but so I mean, I guess what it basically like the message is just kind of chill out and listen to your body.
Yeah.
And then you could err on the side of caution, and then you got to know yourself too. Like, but the point is, you not 3 days, 4 days isn't gonna. You have to make a decision to know that that's not really gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It would have been nice to run those 3-4 days, but it's not going to change your level of fitness to that fast. Like I think people, the first run back may feel crazy, but physically or biologically or whatever, you haven't changed that much.
Nope.
It's not like swimming. Like if you have like 3-4 days away from a pool at a high level, you actually could have some differences because we're not meant to like be in water like that. Yeah. So you have to kind of like stay close to water. But for us running, like, it's not gonna make it break you.
Yeah. And I don't know if you ever seen that graphic that they post online sometimes, but it's like a long bar and it's like broken up into colors with every run that you do for the whole training block. And it's like, this is your training block if you do every workout on your schedule. This is your training block if you miss 2 or 3 days. And you can't tell the difference when you zoom it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's like
number of days,
think about zooming out and looking at the big picture. I know we get caught up in like win the day, do as much as you can on the day and move on to the next.
But like part of being ready for the race is also knowing how to recover right. Yeah. So like I wear an Aero ring, right? And it has like 3 scores. It has like readiness, sleep, and then recovery or no, activity or whatever. Like so basically like for us, like our activity normally would be really high. Yeah. Right? Like that's like especially if you're doing doubles and stuff like that. And so I think I did a double. And the next day I had woke up and I got a good sleep score, but my readiness was low. And that's based on your sleep score. And then apparently your I didn't realize that, but it's based on your sleep score and then your activity. And so I'm thinking if I get a high score on my sleep, my readiness is going to be high, and then obviously my activity is going to be high. So I wake up, but then my activity was like 80 or 82, which is after a day of a double. I'm like, this don't make no sense. Like my activity should be up. And I opened up the activity thing. And it was like everything was high, all the markers except for needs recovery. And it was like pay attention to the recovery. And I'm like, dang, like yesterday I didn't do, like I was moving constantly. I had this, that, I went to my kids thing and all this other stuff, right? And I'm like, and then that's why the readiness was down. So like part of this whole thing is staying ready for your race or being ready to go is literally knowing that part of the process is recovery and slowing down. So if there's moments where you just feel, sickness aside, if you just feel burnt out, you're getting close to that edge, you have to realize, like, forget what like social media is saying about all this, like, stay hard, do this, do that, da da da. You have to know that part of being ready is recovering.
Yeah.
Like the top of the top pros run how many ever times a day? Sometimes they do 3 a days, right? But they sleep so much.
Yeah.
Like we went to the game last night, the Pistons game versus the Rockets. And you was talking about like how the Rockets, like, they just played like the night before, and then so they flew here, landed. Like, just imagine having to be back again playing high level basketball. But then it seems crazy, but then you think about, like, they landed, went to sleep, they came for shoot arounds in the morning, went back to the hotel, probably slept some more. The people that we know, the names, they went to sleep.
Yeah.
They know, like, recovery is such a big point of their thing. We don't, as day-to-day people, we don't have the luxury to nap as much as like a pro runner or a pro athlete does.
Right.
But just the concept of knowing, like, you can't push everything.
Yeah.
Like, and doing that we see it happen.
It'll break you.
Yeah, you can nail every run and every workout in your whole marathon training block and be on red line the whole time and feel like a hot shot. And then you get to the race day and you just don't have that thing. And I would argue that was because you redlined the whole half of the training block.
Yeah.
And you don't have your body didn't have enough time to recover enough so you can do this 26.2 crazy.
And I think it's interesting that you brought up your Oura ring, because we carry around, we put these wearables on our body, right?
Just for one reason.
Yeah. It's like we use it for the hour or two that we run it. And then we just like ignore everything else that it's collecting. But it's like, no, there are some markers in there that can tell you or tip you off to, like, maybe you need a little more sleep. Maybe you aren't fueling. You know what I'm saying? Like, check that resting heart rate. Like, when that resting heart rate is starting to crawl up a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you should be
like crazy over it.
Yeah, don't obsess over it.
Yeah.
But take note, take mental note. Oh, okay, my resting heart rate been 5 beats higher than normal for the last few days. Maybe there's something there. You know what I'm saying? And then dig a little deeper and see, like, but we have all of these metrics at our disposal. Don't get information overload and paralysis by the numbers, but also know, like, it's something to be said. It's something to be said about the stuff that you have, and also in combination with listening to your body and knowing, like, this easy run should have felt easy, but it didn't. You know?
So Rich Roll had the guy, the CEO or founder of Whoop, on, and I forgot how he said it, but he was just like, let the wearable be a tool, not the something. Like, don't let the thing drive you. The driver, let it be a tool, not the driver. Whatever. But, like, basically just saying, don't let these numbers overtake your life to the point where you just, like, your numbers are off. So, like, I'm gonna be sick tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, or you may not get the best sleep, but that does not mean you can't do this workout well. You know what I mean? But it's like it's more macro than micro.
Yeah.
Like, so if you back out again, like, those 3 days ain't gonna do nothing. But just like if you back out again, like, okay, having some days where these numbers are off is fine. But if it's like, the last couple of weeks, this number had been stuck here, or I ain't been sleeping, and it says that my sleep's like a C or a D or whatever, it's like, then you have to realize, okay, this is something that I need to pay attention to, almost more than the thing that I am doing well, which is, like, all these runs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't pay attention to the anomaly, but pay attention to the trends.
Yeah.
Like,
The
trend,
for sure.
The trend will be there. It'll show itself if you're looking for it in the right way.
I mean, we pay enough money for this stuff, so it's like, you might as well just at least pay attention to the other stuff that it's showing you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because to crush every workout and then get, like, hurt or sick or this or that because you wasn't sleeping or whatever, it just seemed kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Seemed kind of crazy.
And it's avoidable.
Super.
So don't run into the tree that you can see. Like, don't step on the rake the cartoon where they step on the rake, like. Yeah. Okay, if you step on it and you didn't see it, okay.
But if it's like, it's right there, here it comes.
Yeah, and then you still, like, who's to blame there?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, what's one thing that every time we talk about some of these conversations about, like, what not to do, what to do, it kind of reminds me of, like, the influencer vibe, like, because that's, I think that's like the time, like, like I'd have never really loved like, oh, he's an influencer or whatever, but just because of like that negative connotation, or at least my thought of like the people that I see that may be the bad apples, when it comes to messaging. Not bad people necessarily, but just like the jumping on every trend to say kind of whatever, or at least try to give more information than they should. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times our interpretation of information or things that are part of our process, if said the wrong way with the right amount of followers, people will just listen as if you are the expert because, of course, like you do more than I do. So obviously you have to tell, whatever. But I just feel like that's where things get a little weird, is when when it's okay to share like all of our opinions in factual ways that makes it like, I should trust this person because I follow them, they have a lot of followers, or they, like if I start saying certain things, like, I run more than most people. So if I start saying, this works, this is it, do it this way, there's going to be people that do it, and they're going to trust what I said. But one thing that I wanted to I'm like, I got to have this conversation with Aaron. I want, Gary for sure, but I want to know your opinion. So influencers are like, running has had like just a crazy boom, obviously, because like this 2026, I feel like we thought we saw a boom like in 2021, or 2020, 2021 after the pandemic. But I feel like this one right now, like that's like basically like 2025-ish to like now, seems like so much different. And I feel like it's driven because of influencers, or like the concept of being an influencer. So my question to you is, because like I get questions a lot from people like about content creation or like how to work with brands and things like that, and I try my best to like help, but I think that I approach this whole thing a little differently than say like a standard person like going to work to be an influencer. Is it too late to become an influencer in 2026?
I don't think so. I think if you could present the information, or if you could present your story in a way that's compelling to people, there'll always be room for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're still seeing growth. We're still seeing people that are willing to get online and consume content that is much more person driven than it is business driven or media company driven. Like people still crave those independent, like relatable stories. So I think there'll always be a lane for it. I think there'll always be an opportunity to speak to a audience that is longing for knowledge. And I also think we are in an era where people are spending more and more and more and more and more time on their phones. So that 2 hours that they may have given to Netflix might be going to Instagram now. It might be going to TikTok now. Yeah. And the infinite scroll, you don't ever run out of content. Yeah. And the influencer has to feed that thirst, and that desire for new content. So I think maybe the people that have had success, obviously they'll have a leg up because they right. know how they know what works. They know what resonates, and their following and their audience gives them credibility. But also, I think we'll see a push away from the huge mega influencer and a more desire from the audience to see people that maybe don't have 500,000 followers. People that are a little more relatable, people that aren't living in these big cities that literally live as influencers. Like they want to see people that they can relate to, that have a job, that have a family, that have regular day-to-day life stuff, but still create content in their niche that they want to see, that they can relate to. So I think as long as these corporate overlords are figuring out ways to keep us on our phones more and more,
we're gonna be there.
I think we'll be there.
So I think the reason for the question is like, I agree because I think that my advice to people sometimes seems like backwards, like, or away from maybe what they think. That if they ask the influencer like, what could I do to gain my following or whatever, like some people's answer is going to be, all right, so do I'm just making this up. 15-second videos instead of your 45 ones, and then have a catchy hook in the beginning, get a bit or a thing or whatever, and then post 5 times a day. You know, and I think that in my mind that is like influencer lane, and then kind of like what you said, and how I started this whole thing, and then also like how I try to like remain is more so like a story or a person that happens to have like relationships that would pull towards like an influencer type of thing. And that's where like you see people who have just like, say, well, somebody will have like 1,000 followers, and you see their content, and it's like they're mirroring the content that the 500,000 follower person makes, which essentially you could catch and go viral. But because of how many people are doing all of this between the 1,000 and the 500,000 follower person, all y'all making the same content. The 500,000 follower person has the leg up, because when they post something, it's gonna get enough views in the first like 5 minutes to have it be pushed into the thing that happens for them, and then it's just easier and easier to go viral. Especially when you're talking about like Instagram. I mean, TikTok's different, and TikTok's more content based instead of like person based. So that means for the person that doesn't know, it's like the algorithm for TikTok rewards the content itself as it alone. It doesn't matter who posts it. You could have 2 followers essentially and post something that could go viral and have millions of views. That doesn't necessarily happen very often on Instagram. Like, it has to be the craziest thing in the world, and it has to be caught by the right people at the right time. Like, it's like striking gold, right? But TikTok's different. So like on Instagram, I just feel like there's so many people that are trying to do the influencer thing, as opposed to like, who am I? You know, what do I offer? And then how do I like build that? And how do I not necessarily scale it, but like, how do I provide value to the point where the value that I get back, or like the communication I get back, makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. And I feel like it's good to hear you say, like, I feel like the 500,000 follower people are always going to have their thing, and good work for them to get to wherever they got to. But I like that you said like it's kind of like going to be eventually maybe leaning more towards like that micro, where maybe people will follow both, you know, for different reasons, you know. And I think that a lot of these people who are like wanting to be an influencer, but maybe skipping over like the biggest parts of their story that actually could tie into getting them where they want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that I would not be. I think I caught Instagram at the right time and like started telling my story at the right time. But I always it's always telling a story. It was never like, when I started doing content, I wasn't trying to there was no influencers. It was just shoe reviewers, and that's it. There was none of that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Matt Choi and those guys were like around already, but I don't think I even knew of them yet. And they were more on like YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, it was a different thing. And then now it's like everybody has people are huge on Instagram and stuff like that. And it's literally, it seems like they're doing a thing, but then, like, for instance, like Maddie Runs, she's on Instagram. I think she's obviously on TikTok, I think. But so Maddie Runs like kind of has like a stick a bit, because she like wears a mask. But then if you just look at her content right now, and without looking into her story, you just think she's making random content. But then you go to her Instagram and you see the things that she cares about, like she's like pinned the things she cares about.
Yeah.
And you click on her story, and she has a really deep story. And that's really where the initial growth came from, because she told her story.
Yeah.
And people resonate with her actual story. She's having fun making content and feeding the algorithm and blah, blah, blah. And I think that that's where I would be much more happy to be called an influencer, if the thought of influencer was, oh, person had story, person told their story, person got rewarded for it, and now they get to have fun with the work that they put in.
I think you hit the nail on the head with people are leading with feeding the algorithm rather than leading with setting a foundation of the story they want to tell.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't really know what story they want to tell. They just
Yeah.
know they want
Yeah.
to be online and making videos. Which
But they don't.
there's-
But they
there's
don't
noth-
feel like there's no reward for it too.
That's true. I mean, but people see the bigger influencers and they think this is something that I can do.
Yeah.
They're just making videos. I can make videos too. Like,
Right.
and it's true. So the easiest thing and the lowest common denominator thing is like, okay, well, what trendy videos can I do to feed the algorithm? What little gimmicky stuff can I do to feed the algorithm? When in reality, if you can build an audience with your story, the connection to your audience and the connection to the people is much stronger. Because I saw a guy make a video the other day, and he was saying it's this reporter. His name is Adrian Wojnarowski. He used to break all the NBA news before Shams, right? But he decided that wasn't the lane he wanted to do anymore. He's like, I'm just tired. I can't be on my phone all the time. I can't put in the hours that's required for me to be the first person to break the NBA stories all the time. So he decided to pivot. But once he stopped providing that information, once that stopped becoming, like, once that wasn't his thing anymore, now he's, like, pivoted into, like, podcasting and long-form storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's like he's basically starting from zero because no one knew who Woj was. He was just an avatar on Twitter,
Yeah.
you know? But nobody knew anything about him as a person. They just went to his feed for NBA news. So if you don't develop, and then the guy was also comparing this to Mr. Beast, right? People don't watch Mr. Beast videos because they love Mr. Beast. They watch Mr. Beast videos because he's telling stories and he's doing things. He's giving information, whether it be the, challenges or whatever. That's what people come to him for.
Yeah.
So if he made a hard pivot to now I'm Mr. Beast, I want to tell the story of Jimmy,
Yeah.
it would be a difficult transition for him because it's like people don't really connect to you as a storyteller like that.
Yeah.
They connect to you as a content machine.
Yeah.
And your face is just the logo for that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on Instagram, they want to just be a content producer and they don't include themselves in it at all.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that's another trendy running video. I'm just going to do my version of that. And it's like, that's cool. And feeding the algorithm can work. We've seen it work.
Yeah.
But is that what you really want? Is that?
Yeah, and I feel like it's some of it is on some of it's on the brands too, because like if you see, I don't know if they're doing a good job at right now. Like I've been like pulled back from like watching running content too much, because it's just a lot of times it's just like what's happening right now, but it's on the brands too, because at some point, brands, they seem and they say that they want to have representation from real people, real runners, or they want real runners and real people to buy their products. But then at times if the wrong person's sitting in that seat that gets to choose the next ad or commercial or reel or next content creator that they reach out to or next influencer they reach out to, if they're not careful with that and they're just doing it for numbers' sake, then there's an issue there.
Yeah.
Because it's not really an issue. If it does what they want it to do, great. But if now normal people who have stories that could actually help other people, like if we weren't talking about being, black in the run space a couple of years ago, and talk about going after PRs and sharing like my desire to run Boston and all that stuff, and then people like letting people watch it happen. If more of me wasn't doing that, then maybe where would we essentially be from a black run aspect? Like, would some other people that were inspired have gone and done it if all I was trying to do at that time was make content to go viral? Like, you need people to tell stories, and brands should be responsible enough to be like, this is cool, but we need the messaging to not only sell the shoes, but we want it to continue to feed like our culture,
Yeah.
And because if everybody's being rewarded for anything and everything, then it's like, why would somebody care? To like, I'm not about to like divulge my personal story But if everybody was benefiting from telling your story and creating like a lane, whether that lane meant you have 1,500 diehard followers or 70,000 of them, but everybody was like dedicated to like, this is real, I can build with that. And then brands go like, okay, you know, for whatever reason, we want to focus in on like single moms that are like, you know, raising kids, whatever. And that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And if nobody tells that story because they're just trying to make silly content, not silly, I'm sorry, everybody, you know, like, or fun content, whatever. Then I think we missing the mark. And I feel like that would be, if I had the chance to talk to brands and somebody was like, hey, we want you to be, you know, the creative director or whatever. We want to like consult with you on how we should go about this building this thing for this community. It would be not forget the views, because you're going to get views.
Yeah.
If you're Nike, you're going to get views. It doesn't matter who you use. It'll be, you know, when you collab with Kim Kardashian, it's going to be bigger. But even that makes sense. And so like that's not even a shot at her, but it's like you're going to get the views. So stop acting like you're not going to get them, and then choose people that like you purposely, like this person at this moment, we're rocking with them for this next 5 minutes.
Yeah. And I think more so what you're asking for is balance.
Yeah.
You know, because there's space for the fun, silly content.
Yeah, for sure.
There's space for that. But also, let's keep in mind that there's space for content that may go a little bit deeper. There is a bigger investment required for that, because that easy, fun content, it's easier to produce, for one, and the return on it, the way the algorithm is set up, the incentive is like right there. It's point A to point B. But to develop a longer term and like more serious and more like intentional relationship between a brand and a customer, and if the conduit is the influencer, to tell that influencer story and to invest in them in that, it can't just be a one-off thing. It has to be a more long-term partnership.
Yeah.
And
because the person that you're working with already comes with, they've already validated you in the space that they cover. Like, so if they have 1 million followers, like, you don't have to necessarily build a story around that. They are what they are.
Exactly.
But money-wise, I feel like, so if you pay a mega influencer this amount of money, I mean, I'm not saying you should never do that, and like you said, balance, but I just feel like we're rewarding. You could have 50 people do something for the same price, maybe, as that one person. Yeah. And it just seems like, I just feel like I get why people would say, I'm not even going to worry about that, because why would I do that when it doesn't ever work? Yeah. It only works for like the special folks or whatever. And a lot of times people play the algorithm to get that, and then they go backwards, and then they tell their story. Yeah. So I don't know.
And, I mean, and we know how corporate ladder works, man. If you could tell your boss, I landed so and so influencer with a million followers, like, that helps you. That might get you that promotion you're looking for.
It don't
that might
even
get
got to sell the shoes.
It don't, but it's like, no, we got this person, and brand C, D, and E didn't. So I want my bonus, I want my raise, I want my promotion, because I landed this person, and so it's a bunch of. It's a bunch of stuff.
You know what I mean? Like, we could change subject in a second, but you know what made me think about it like more lately? Is watching J. Cole, but like as he's releasing this last project or next project. When you on face value, it's like, you're just a rapper that I like, right? But then at the same time, if you look at how he's done most of his career, especially when he got to a point where he's like, hold on, I'm not trying to chase this. Yeah. I'm doing this, and he's like drilled down on what he wants to really dig in on. People that are diehard like Jermaine Cole fans, it's because he stayed right where he thought he wanted to be, and then just did really good at that. And I think that, like you said, when you talk about this micro influencer vibe, it's not about just being a small creator. It's about, like, if you feel passionately about, you don't see enough of blah, 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 right? And you build that to a level, not follower-wise, but you hone in on like how you present that content and that messaging. I think that's going to be super valuable this year. While all brands are like pushing towards faster and this and that, like, and they're all trying to reach for more attention, And then the more people that like are running and just popping up at Gunna Wanna Run thing and Travis Barker and whoever else, you know, who's doing these runs, they're going to fall somewhere. And they're not going to fall as a new runner following like what Kipchoge's doing or what like the fastest run club is doing. They're going to filter into like, dang, I'm a mom and I don't see me. So either they're going to be the person that builds the smaller thing that catches the right eyes and then they get sponsorships and stuff like that, or you do it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just, I think that more people should be considering like what's valuable about themselves.
Yeah.
And that's always going to be my advice. So I don't think it's too late to be an influencer. I think it's too late to be an influencer and play that game. I think it's you have to decide who you're influencing.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to be an influencer, but who I want to have an influence on. Yeah. And then build that like it matters, because it does. Because if it really, you know, if it's veganism or sobriety or whatever, it's hone in on that. And then the numbers are there. If you are a black runner, at one point it didn't seem like it mattered, you know? But then now you realize it's so many black runners now. Yep. So if you just hone in on like I'm a black runner out here, not like pandering, but you just telling that story, it's fire. And you're not them, you're not anybody else. You literally they can only come to you. Yep. And maybe 5 other people. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
You I felt like you really wanted to get that off your chest.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm not mad at nobody for doing whatever. I just feel it feels weird hearing people that I know have stories that I have to remind them that they have something more important to say. Yeah. Than come run with me. Yeah. Unless come run with me leads to like, oh, you got me, and now all of a sudden we're talking about like mental health. Yeah. Like that's fire. Yeah. Use the trends. Say what you got to say after you got the people who thought they were watching a video about you just running down the street. Yeah. You know? Like I just feel like we're undervaluing real stories, and it's upsetting to see people that could help other people that I know need help not be helped because we're so concerned with like everything else. Yeah. You know, it just seems weird.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of mental health, maybe we can get a BetterHelp sponsor or something on here, because you really
that's literally therapy. Bro, that's literally like one of my dream like collabs is BetterHelp, but it's not like I've never talked about mental health in that aspect other than like sobriety in a way. Yeah. But like I've gone to therapy for years, like, and it's and then when I can't afford it or I'm not in it, I'm always like looking into like ways to subsidize that, I guess, you know? But it's like, especially like for black men in general, like it's not talked about enough, the ways that we have to, or we think we have to position ourselves in the world or act in the world or be in the world, that like super plays against ourselves as people, our growth, but then in turn our families and our, you know, kids, families, next generation, all this stuff, like we're just kind of passing, fumbling the bag kind of like around, like and down, like, oh, take this half-assed like concept of like humanity that I kind of had to muster up through all these things. You know, it's not like a woe is me thing, but it's just like, when are we going to be like, there's more to this than just appealing to like the rat race in the way that everybody else succeeds. Yeah. Because I heard somebody say like, this dude was saying, the guy who like owns like Cloudy Donuts in New York, he like he always says like enough is enough because we ain't got enough. Mm-hmm. Like eventually we got to realize that we don't have enough playing the game that we've been told to like play. So like we got to pull back and be, okay, how do I get better just in general? And then how do I play this next part of my life or game or whatever you want to call it, or career, in a way that actually speaks to like who I am and who I want my kids to see, or who I want my family to see, or who I want my community to be inspired to be or by, you know? And I just feel like it's just, I figure like that's like probably my next like evolution or whatever, is to be a little bit more open about how like the intention of which we step, not just me, but like how we step into spaces. Yeah. especially like as I'm moving into trail a bit, it's like I don't want to step into trail like kind of like haphazardly like I did in the road space.
Yeah.
It worked out for sure, but at the same time, it's like we just did. You were there. Like it's like I was just doing.
Yeah.
And people, oh, you do, that's amazing. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. What's next? You know.
Yeah.
But we can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
We can't keep fumbling through life succeeding without like realizing that if we had some intention around like what we're building, like this, we have to do this with intention.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like hit you over your head with knowledge all day, but at the same time, like why not provide something that could help people in all these little ways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing it already. Like you might not even see it as like a mental health endeavor, but like the story that you tell, like there's a through line of like your survival. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a pillar of your content, even if you haven't made it a specific or intentional pillar of your content. So I think that's a natural evolution for you. It's not gonna feel like something that just came out of left field. It's gonna be just like, nah, this is right. This makes sense.
Yeah.
But it also is because you've built the story.
All right. Well, BetterHelp. If you guys want to tap in, I mean, for real, we need BetterHelp. We need a hydration sponsor. We need all the vibes.
Whatever y'all want to do.
All
Send
the
us
vibes.
money.
All right. Well, we had some other topics we was gonna talk about. Did you want to jump into one of them?
Yeah. Let's rapid fire.
Rapid fire. The benefits of smaller, non-selling out races. Go.
Okay. The Detroit Free Press just sold out in 6 days. There was a time, every race, not just the international half marathon, not just the international marathon, literally every race attached to the Detroit Free Press weekend sold out in like 2 weeks, tops. That is interesting to me because, yes, we do want to see more people at these races. That's been our kind of thing, right? It's like we want to see us at races. We want to see people in the space participating in the space. So it's cool to see people jumping in these races and like really like going full go with it.
Yeah.
But also, we don't always have to go to the biggest races. We don't always have to like put these y'all know how
world
I am.
majors. Yeah,
we don't have to put these world majors on a pedestal. And I was preaching, these second tier,
Yeah, but those are getting full too.
Those are getting full too. So I gotta go even more full hipster and say, look, there's some 1,500 person races out there.
Yeah.
There's some, local or just like hyper regional races out there that still aren't selling out, but they're still providing a great environment. They're providing a great experience. So don't skimp out. Don't just check on those 20,000 finisher races. There's still value in the space. The smaller races, they don't cost as much. The porta potties aren't always full as soon as you get there at the start line.
Yeah,
you get
I see some things in Chicago, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's not all good. It's not all bad, but it's not all good sometimes either. So check around and go see a city that you know what I'm saying you might not have on the top of the list. They might not have a Chipotle in that city.
Okay,
but it's worth it. It's worth it to run a marathon.
So they just got Qdoba.
You know what I'm saying? No, they just got a mom and pop burrito spot.
Yeah, like a real burrito spot.
You know what I'm saying?
But no, so I think that it's funny that Detroit Free Press was your first like go to because 2 years ago, I mean they did sell it like 2 years ago, but so Detroit's is odd because of their like restrictions, because of the international portion of it. It bothers the whole like ability to have more people. Like they could fit more people on that course. Yeah. But it's like how long can we have this portion shut down? Yeah. It's too close to the border. But so I say there's the kinds of like the smaller races. It is smaller. So it is if you're a person that's like I'm cool 16 miles, but I need people 16 to 26. Some of these small races, you're not gonna have that, and it's gonna be much quieter. It's gonna be a journey. You're gonna have to find God somewhere in there, right? And that's fun and cool. But so like my thing for this is like, if you have no desire, you don't have to have a desire to run all the majors, or any of them ever. But if you do, great. Try it, have a good time, but don't be too disappointed because there are second tier races like Detroit that nowadays are selling out because there's more people. Yeah. And hopefully these races decide to figure out more ways to add more people to make it 12,000 instead of 10 or whatever. But then also don't be too disappointed because there's more. Like everything in my opinion, shouldn't just live and die on I didn't get into Chicago, so it's whatever. And there's so many other fun, really cool races that have enough people to get some of that experience. Like CIM, like I just was there just spectating or whatever, and it was just a really good environment. I don't even know how many people were there, but it was not 10,000. I don't think. I don't know what it is, but it felt way more. It felt relaxed and it was nothing too crazy. So just go look around, find races, have some fun, and if you find a gem, share it. Yep. Like wow, this is really good, and you want that race to continue because some of these races that only have 1,500 people, it's a hard thing to push when you still got to shut down the same streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So share the wealth if you find like a nice little gem of a race that you feel like should continue. Make sure we maybe don't have them selling out, but fill it up a little bit. Yeah. All right. You know what? No more topics. I brought a gift for you.
Okay.
The gift for Gary too, but he's not here. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and open this box. This is a PR Project gift. As you probably can see if you're watching the pod, this is an orange box with a Nike swoosh on it. So it's a Nike box. So you can go ahead open that up.
Okay.
So we looking at the Nike Structure Plus. Nike Structure Plus. So apparently, if you're a big fan of running, you've seen like the Kenyan runners and Ethiopian runners that are with Nike. Apparently, Structure is the Structure line. This is the first Structure Plus, but Structure's also at like 40 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
a tentpole product for them for sure.
Yeah, but it never gets any love in the States for whatever reason. But it's like people wear this have worn the Structures overseas longer and over the Pegasus vibe.
Okay.
Because it's always been a little bit more cushioned, I guess.
Okay.
So this is the Structure Plus. It's the first of its line. It's got like React X foam and Zoom X foam as well. So they sent these out to PR Project for us to run in, test, and have some fun with. So hopefully we want to do these every other week or so. So hopefully we'll have some time to throw some miles in. I'll make sure Gary gets his pair. But next episode, I'd love to talk about these Structure Plus. So big shout out to Nike for sending these out to us. I like the way they look. Yeah. I like the way they look. They feel like a trainer, like a durable trainer. So,
and you know me, I can put some miles on a trainer. So I'm down to see what we can do.
I knew that you would be you're anti big race and not necessarily anti super shoes, but you like a good trainer.
I'm a humble guy.
Right. Oh, I got something else for you too.
Oh man.
Yeah. You can check those out. This is a Skechers box that I got. I didn't bring mine, but I've already run mine.
It's the S.
It's the S.
I don't know if they still use that, but
I don't think that they do. I think that they've tried to get away from it's the S.
And I'm anti nostalgia, but they should bring that back.
Yeah, but that's the Skechers. What's the
Aero Razor.
Aero Razor. So I've run in the Razor for years. Like when I first started running marathons,
I
I was running the Aero Razor.
that.
Yeah, but that's the Aero Razor. It's like has an H plate in it. Gary said so.
Okay.
So that's like more like a tempo shoe. So
cool.
Check those out too. But for sure, we will be talking about the Nike Structure Plus when we come back on the next episode. All right, man. We rounding this thing out. How do you feel about this?
I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this atmosphere. I feel like the people will enjoy the quality of the audio because I'm an audiophile too.
Yeah,
so to know that we ain't on the trapping out the laptop,
trapping out the
speaker,
laptop,
and microphone, all of that crazy.
One of us is too close to the camera.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This takes a lot of onus off of us to make sure we getting things right. So this is cool. I hope we get good feedback. Let us know. Let us know if y'all can hear a difference. Let us know if y'all like this because if not,
I don't care. We're doing it.
That ain't really got nothing to do with us. That's a you problem.
Well, there's other podcasts to be, but honestly, like check out. You'll see like the rollout and the new logo and all that stuff. If you're not watching this one, make sure you tap in with the videos. We'll have to get our YouTube page fully ready to go for this. But we're excited to relaunch and have some deeper conversations. Tap in. If you have any things that you like, I need y'all three to talk about. Gary will be back on the next episode, but we need y'all to talk about. Hit us up with those in our DMs or whatever, or comment on this podcast that you're listening to now. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the.pr.project on Instagram. Follow our personals as well because we doing stuff over there too. But stay tuned. We will be getting back to talking about all things running. We will be talking about more shoes as we continue to get more shoes as this Marathon season is about to be upon us. So tap in. Hopefully y'all loved it.
We'll see y'all next time. The relaunch.
Peace. The relaunch is over with. Well, are we still? Is it relaunching forever, or is it relaunch just today?
Who knows?
All right, we might be relaunching for 6 months. Peace out.